that you're enjoying these instructional videos for the Dandao. If you're a beginner, it's going to teach you basic sword maneuvers and Shaolin stances. And if you're more advanced, I hope it'll open the window to improvising and linking. If you've been practicing fixed forms, this will give you a new opportunity to explore how to move in a different way and move more freely. We're going to build on the last lesson with 4 more moves today. In the last lesson, we went from the on guard or cat stance into the slice, and from the cat stance into stepping forward into the slice, and from the cat position to one off the plum blossom form, strike and come back. From the slice position, from here, we learn how to sit back into the cat. From the slice position, we learn how to turn into the cat. And we learn one more. From here, 2 steps back into the cat. So today we're going to work on 2 more moves coming out of the on guard position and 2 more moves coming out of the after the slice position in the bow stance. In the last video, I told you to be conscious of the stances where you can link and change. And the cat stance and this bow stance are pretty standard positions where you can change direction and do different moves from there. So, first one we're going to learn is from a turn back. This is going to be from the on guard position. I'm going to slice behind you. So again, from here it's slower. Going to be from the cat position. I'm going to come through the center on the wrap, step into the bow, and finish your slice. Take your leg and come through the center and into the bow stance. So again, from here, in the last lesson, I told you to wait for the power of the slice till you get into your root, and then do your slice. So one more time, from the cat, just turn back, and then we'll slice. The next one, coming out of the same position, from the cat, you're going to step 2 steps forward, turn, and do the slice. So 1, wrap, step, slice. Again, 1, wrap, step, slice. Slower, step forward as you do the wrap, step behind, and the left hand is going to go up and around as you do the slice. One more time. 1, 2, slice. One, 2, slice. So if you combine that with some of the ones we learned before, you can do different combinations. We're going to do the 1-2 step slice, and we're just going to do the sit. So it'll look like this. 1-2 slice, So now we're going to combine this move with a two-step back. So you go, so you're going to go 1, 2, that. And now we're going to do the 1-2 turn slice with just a turn that we learned before. So you can see that from one position you can move to many different positions. From the cat, we can go here, here. And then we could go like the forward ones. So it starts to look different as you combine different moves. In learning the sequences or the combinations, concentrate on the individual particular move rather than combinations, because you don't want to do it like a fixed form where you kind of learn a combination and then you kind of get so that you always have to do that combination. You want to be able to change. So being aware of that linking position, whether it's the cat or after the slice, will allow you to go into all the different variables. So let's learn 2 ones out of this. So here, before when we're in this slice position, you could do the turn, and from the slice position, you could do the sit, and from this position, you could do the 2-step back. So again, from this position, we're going to learn one. This is a new one. From here, it's going to be 2 steps forward. Again, 1, 2, into the cat. One, slice, wrap, sit in the cat. One, slice, wrap, sit. So again, that's going to come out of this position here. Like that. Okay, the next one you're going to learn from here is going to be slice, sit, and sit. So again, from here, slice, sit, cut. You're going to turn, slice down, wrap as you step, and sit into the cat. In the beginning, when you were practicing with the sword, you're going to try to control these movements, kind of just so that you could be in the right position. But as you get a little more proficient, you'll be able to use the weight of the sword to do the movement, so your arm is very relaxed. So let's combine the 2 to 4 that we learned into 2 combinations. And again, although we don't want to like fixate on combinations, the combinations will allow you to kind of learn how to link them together, and you will feel more comfortable about combining the moves together. So just for the lessons, I'm going to combine the moves for you so that you can kind of learn how it feels. So we're going to do from here the turn, and then the step. And so again from here, do the turn back, slice, then the new one, step, slice, sit. And again, from this position here, turn back, slice, slice, sit. Okay, good. So then we're going to learn from here, we're going to do the step, and then we're going to do the slicing turn wrap. Okay, this is going to be the two-step here, and then here. Okay. Again, from the cat, two-step forward, turn and slice, and then turn and slice. So of course you can combine the two new ones with the old ones that you learned, like this for example. Okay. But for now, concentrate on those four new ones. The four from the cat, turn, and slice. From the cat, step, turn, and slice. From the slice, step, 1, 2, slice, wrap. Then from the wrap, turn, slice, sit. So the question comes up, should you practice fast or slow, or how do you break it down? You can practice in many different ways. So a lot of times just do it slow, break it up, step, slice. Again, just kind of slow, because you're going to have to remember what to do. So in the beginning you have to kind of think it out and do it. As you get more proficient, you want to just kind of try to be as smooth as you can and let the weight of the weapon do the movement for you. Let the sword talk to you. It's going to tell you when to do that slice. Again, this is all learning about proper foundation and proper movement. One of the general principles is coming through the center for the change in movement. So like when you're doing here, there's like a motion where you're in the center, then you can sit. So everything comes through the center and back out again. That's a general Kung Fu principle. The more you practice, listen to what your body and the weapon is telling you how to move, okay? So again, don't just try to do rote learning. Listen to what's happening, kind of evaluate it, okay? I always tell my students that you should separate yourself into two parts, the doer and then the observer. So the whole time you're doing it, it's kind of like the video camera recording what you do. So as you're doing it, you should be aware of what your body looks like, where the sword is, where your hand position is, kind of from both internal and imagining what the camera sees as well. So another way to practice, and people want to know, should you dedicate like a certain time of the day or something to practice? If you're doing strenuous stuff, yeah, you want to stretch out, then you might have to plan to do the stretching and then like a half hour, 45 minutes of like particular training. But if you're just kind of working on learning the stuff and kind of linking it together, then you can just kind of randomly do it. I leave my sword out here all day long, and basically I'll just pick up the sword, come out, practice a move, and just kind of play with it. I like to be more free and play with the sword and let the sword talk to me than kind of dictate kind of a strict methodology of training. This is what the free flow is all about, learning to listen to the weapon and be able to just kind of dance with the weapon. So that's another way. Also, a lot of times it's actually good to practice without the weapon so that you can concentrate on your stance, your balance, and the movement. Without the weapon, you're not trying to manipulate that weapon. You're just being able to concentrate more on your core. So all these movements basically can be done without the weapon as well. You can also, if you don't have a sword, you can practice the same thing with a stick. The movements are all the same. The stick doesn't have the same balance, but it can accomplish the same, right? So those are just some ways that you can practice. So I hope you practice these 4 new moves, and once you get those down, start trying to combine them with some of the old stuff we learned, and you'll be surprised how many different variables there are and how free you're going to be able to move. So enjoy the